Hi everyone, my name is Katja, I'm Cat Coloring, and a huge welcome to my channel for both new and old subscribers. Well, it's that time again, time for a completed pages video. So I haven't done one during the summer, so this completed pages video is a compilation of all of my colorings during the summer months, June, July and August, including my body colors. So I have a lot of books here, so let's just get started. So we begin with this Danish coloring book, Malebog tæt på haven, coloring book close to the garden. And this coloring book I showed you in my spring art haul. And I have finally managed to get some time to color in this. You can see that the background is printed in different colors in this book. So it's only the motifs that you have to color. So in July, I colored this page with these flowers here, and they were colored with the Majestætler Ergosoft, just to try them out on the paper. And they worked okay, but I did have to put down several layers to get enough color down here on the flowers and also the leaves. And I had to press a bit harder here on the leaves to make them really green and look like they were green. So I do think that I want to try some other coloring pencil brands on this paper. I have a feeling that my oil-based pencils will actually work a lot better on this paper than these wax-based pencils, because they, as I said, they had to. I had to do a lot of layering here to make the color really shine through. But this was just a really fun little coloring here in July. My Maria Tralle books, I have quite a few colorings in here. And I have only colored one page here in Nightfall. And of course I had marked the page and now I can't find it. This is really typical. It was a dark page, not the cat. Ah, here it is. So this one you may have seen before, because I used it in a tutorial how to color with acrylic inks. Because in my last art haul video, my summer art haul video, I showed my acrylic inks, and a lot of people asked me to do some videos and show how to use acrylic inks. And this drawing here, I call her Lady of the Lake here. I use my acrylic inks both on the moon, and if I just flip the page a bit, I hope that you can see, and here the comet, the stars, they were with a gold acrylic ink, and all of this water, or hair and water here, with my pearl blue acrylic ink. So the rest was colored with my Prismacolors, but I just have to say that these acrylic inks work so well on the paper in these books. And even though you use them, you can see on the other page, you can't see that you're using acrylic ink. So acrylic ink works in a different way than acrylic paint and normal ink, because it's a mixture, and you have to shake the bottle quite a bit to mix the ingredients together. But then when you use it, it dries really quick and you can't reactivate it again. But the result is so beautiful, especially these pearl colors that I have bought. The pearl white here and the pearl blue here. Really, really nice. And they work wonders on top of coloring pencils, these acrylic inks. So they just add that bit more shine to a page. And they also come in metallic colors, and then you can use them for a night sky like this one. So I really like this one. I like the colors that I used on this Lady of the Lake here. So my Twilight Garden, I have managed to do one page in this book. And it's this page actually. I think that this was actually quite a long time ago I made this page, so I can't remember if I did it for a tutorial, a color along, or just for fun. I simply can't remember, but it must have been in the beginning of June, because it's quite a while since I made this one. And I can see that I actually added some stickles to the butterflies, and it wasn't quite dry, so I have some stickles here on this flower and also here. But this one was colored with my Prismacolors, and they just work so nicely on this paper, so I actually prefer using my Prismacolors in this book. In these Maria Trolle books, they work so well. I like how this turned out, this little cat in a flower bed here. But that was only one drawing. I had actually planned to do a lot more coloring in this one because it's filled with flowers, but I think that I will have to make up for it in here in September. Then I have Moon Valley. And Moon Valley I have only made one coloring in, and this was a body color in July with my body, Color and the City from Instagram. And this was the page that she chose, and we colored it, and in just a minute I will show you her page. And we have chosen quite a completely different color scheme here. I have used my Prismacolors because, as I said before, they just work so wonderfully on the paper in Maria Trolle's books. And for this one, I tried a more limited color palette. I used only green and pink colors, and then just a white gel pen for the wings of the butterflies here. But otherwise only pink and green colors. And that was because I had seen another coloring. It was actually, I think it was in a Johanna Basford book, and I think I saw it on Facebook or Instagram where someone had used pink and green colors, and I thought it looked so beautiful that I wanted to try it out myself, and I haven't regretted it. I really think that this color scheme of greens and pinks works a lot here. And I've also grown quite fond of making skin colors with green or blue colors. If you remember from the Nightfall book, I made her skin with blue colors, the Lady of the Lake, and here it's with green colors. This is Color and the City's version of this page here, and you can see that she has used some quite different colors than I have. You can see that the background is made of this beautiful yellow color made with markers, and then it tones out to a more light color. Then we have these beautiful green leaves. Then we have the flowers with this beautiful purple color, and if you notice, the butterflies are made of the same purple and yellow colors that we have already seen with the background and the flowers. So the butterflies sort of sum up the colors used here in this drawing, and then a very pale skin tone here. This is a great example of how the different colors turn the drawing into something very different. So in my coloring, I have turned this girl into a fairy, a tulip fairy here, whereas Color and the City has turned her into a girl with flowers in her hair and surrounded by butterflies. So thank you so much, Color and the City, for this body color. So to end my Maria Trolle, I just wanted to show you some of my favorite colorings in Stjarnfall. If you have been following me for a while, you will know that in June and July, I colored the rest of this book. I had only colored about 15 or 20 pages, so I colored most of the book during the month of June and the beginning of July. And I have a video up on my channel with the entire book. But I just wanted to show you some of my absolutely favorite colorings here. And this is one of them. This was one of them, the colorings I actually did at the last bit of it in the beginning of July. I used my Prismacolors for this one. Really like that she's sleeping in this flower. And I also quite like my fox here. That was colored with Derwent Inkpens and Castle Art pencils, and this was actually for a tutorial on how to color fur. This one I also really like. I did it as a limited color palette with only actually blue colors, and of course white here with the white Posca for the waves, but only blue colors, and also with my Prismacolors because they have so many blue colors that it's really easy to color a drawing only with blue colors. This one is one of my absolute favorites, the sunset picture. And also this one, there's actually a tutorial up on my channel on how to color galaxy white lines. And I used Derwent Inktense for this double page, and then of course a white Posca pen for the rest here. This page is also one of my absolute favorites. You can see again green skin colors here for this Mother Earth drawing in Stjarnfall. This was one of my, I actually think that this was the very first drawing I colored here in Stjarnfall last year, actually in December last year with this sunset. And this one I haven't really shown before, except for my completed pages video. This one was also one of the very first colorings in this book. And this one is my absolute favorite. I really wish that Maria Trolle could make perhaps some more of these nature pictures with just a bird or something here with this river and the rocks here and mountains and then the sunset. I really, really like the composition of this drawing, and I really like how the result turned out. I used Prismas for this one. Oh, and I have a lot of also these pages I did after I had acquired my Pet Artist brush pen for the background. It was actually quite easy to do such a black background and then with stars or snow. Here, the moon and earth goddesses on opposite sides. And then this one was a real challenge for myself because this was a night scene. I had only tried it once before with oh, not this page. This one, that was with Castle Art, and this one was with my Prismacolors, and I used, well, primarily the gray colors and then just a little bit of blue for the starlit sky, a little bit of Tuscan red here and yellow here for the house, but otherwise only gray colors. And it was actually really fun to make a page like this with a real night scene here. And that was it for my Maria Trolle. If you want to see the rest, you can watch the video up on my channel. Next up, we have some colorings from the books by Ellie Marks. Actually, not this book, Winter Song. I just use it to have my calendar pages in. So I have bought Ellie Marks's monthly calendar for this year. And each month has a drawing that you can color, and then there is another page, and it's the calendar page itself. So June was this page with this little, oh, I can't remember if they're called squirrels or whatever, but really, really cute one. And we have puppies, we have flowers. I actually think that the motif itself is more August-like or July-like than June-like, because our grain is actually not, you know, ready for harvest until we reach July and perhaps the beginning of August, depending on the weather. But the June page, this one is here. And I colored this with my, I think it was the Arctex pencils that I have. So the July page is quite different because it's a really yummy page here with so many different kinds of berries and fruit. We have blueberries and cherries and watermelon and peaches and raspberries here. So I really, really like this page. It was a lot of fun to color, I have to say, and I enjoyed really layering the colors here, and also the opportunity to practice my glass coloring skills here. And of course we have some butterflies here, and also actually these are black currants here also. So a really nice summer page here. And this one was colored with, I am positive that, yes, I did remember correct, this one was colored with my polychromos pencils. So they actually also work here on cardboard. And the August page was also colored with my polychromos, and you can see that this page is more like back to school month. So you can see it's almost a bit autumn-like here, with the acorns and coneflowers, and some of the leaves have fallen down and lying here. But it's still August, so back to school. And then I have actually managed to color in this book, Flower Haiku. If you want to see all of the drawings in here, not colored, I have a flip through of this up on my channel. And we are going to the farthest end of this book, almost, because I have colored the Q page. So this Flower Haiku is actually quite a special book. It's a flower coloring book, but with haiku poems that Ellie Marks herself has written. And each letter in the alphabet then has a haiku poem, and Q is quaint, graceful, airy, quivering in the light breeze, Queen Anne's lace, white stars. And this poem that is with all of these letters of the alphabet, always it evolves around some kind of flower. In this case, Queen Anne's lace. And we can see the flower here with the white flowers. And then comes another page, and here you can see it again, but with some other motive and not the poem here. So here we have a sweet little rabbit here. So the background was done with my Faber-Castell pastel chalks and colored with my polychromos, and I used a white Posca for these flowers to make them really white. And this page also the same, soft pastels here in the background, and my polychromos to color this one. This one was really nice to make, and I actually also wanted to do more pages in this book. I love it because I love coloring flowers, but I really haven't had the time. And then I had another project in the month of August, actually, that has taken up all of my time, and that was not coloring flowers. So onwards to Johanna Basford, and I have done quite a bit in small victories here. I think actually I will begin with this page, because this is from my 3 minutes of coloring series from June. And I have colored, well, mostly just fruit here. Cherries, I can't actually remember if the cherries were from the end of May or the beginning of June. But the cherries and oranges and lemons and raspberries. And after I had done then these, I thought that, well, perhaps I should have another theme for July. So I went on to these, and actually these were colored with my Prismacolors, all of these. But here I switched to Stella Ergosoft, because during this period of time I decided that I wanted to use one color pencil brand each month. Both because I wanted to use my different brands, but also to show you that you can do this no matter what color pencil brand you own. So for July, I did these a bit larger drawings actually, but this goes to show that in a, well, rather small amount of time, you can actually color these little drawings. So these were colored with Stella Ergosoft, and after I had done these 3, I decided that for the last 2 Wednesdays in July, I wanted to color something else. So I colored these 2 here and still gave them a background. Also Stella Ergosoft. I really enjoy doing these small colorings here. just to show that it is actually possible to, well, use just a little time and then get a coloring done. And August was this page here with these 4 drawings all in a row here. You can see the hot air balloon and this, well, butterfly or moth, the leaves in this glass jar, and the tiny mushrooms with flowers on top. And for these in August I used my Black Widow pencils. And I decided to do the entire background in blue because we had some clouds here, and I thought, well, there is a blue sky behind this hot air balloon. Why not also blue sky behind this moth and the mushrooms, and then also behind this glass jar here. So now for my body colors with my great American friends Deanne and Kathleen. And we color together for the moment, actually, in Small Victories. And this page was our body color from the month of June. And you may actually have seen it if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, because I have already posted it there. But the challenge here, because we always have a challenge in our body colors, so the challenge here was to use 2 different mediums. So I used actually a lot of different mediums. I used my Faber-Castell pastel chalks for the background, and I mixed blue and purple and pink. And then I decided to use the colors for the flowers here in the dogs. Well, hardly on this one because it's mostly leaves. But I had 2 flowers here, and they were sort of pinkish purple. I used the golden glitter gel pen here. I used black gel pen to enhance the eyes and the noses, and a little white gel pen also to make some highlights. And then I used, I used definitely my polychromos for some of the dogs, but I actually also think that I used my Stettler Design Journey for this dog. And then the polychromos for this dog. And this, I actually think it was my Ergosoft. So I also use different coloring pencil brands here. But I like this page. It's a really cute dog page here. I really enjoyed it. And this was our body color here from July, and the challenge here was to use 1 color. So, well, Deanne chose green, I think, and Kathleen purple, so I chose blue, and that meant that I had to use all sorts of blue colors, but only blue, and all sorts of medium. So I used the pastel chalk again for the background, and I used different glitter gel pens here for the stars in the background, and I used my Prismacolors because they have so many blue colors in the Prismacolor range for the castle. So I used 1 color family here for the castle, and another for the bushes here and flowers, and a 3rd blue color family here for the cliff here and the leaves below. And then I used the white of the paper to do highlights, and I also colored around the castle to make it, stand out more. So this was actually the first drawing that I colored with only 1 color, so monochromatic. I haven't tried it before, but it's actually quite fun. So I might have to do that again. And this page was our body color from August. And here the challenge was to, and this was really difficult for me, color 1 drawing pretty and the other ugly. So how do you color ugly? I'm not sure that I know or have found out, because I decided to use my hate colors, the gray colors for the bee, to make it ugly, and then bright colors with pink and green and blue and some yellow for the snail here. So the background is all done with my Monguyo soft pastels, both this bright background and the black here. And then I used my Prismacolors, all of the cold grays, to color this bee. And I also used hope you can see it, a silver glitter gel pen here. And if you can see some red, it's a pencil sparkle pop, the black one that turns red on the pages. So, or dark red. And then I used, as I said, all of the cold gray colors. And then I colored this one, used some white to erase the edges here of the flowers. And then I showed it to my husband and he said, well, the bee is the prettiest of these two. I like that way more than the snail. And then I thought, okay, but how do you color ugly? Because using the grays weren't enough. So I haven't found out how to color ugly yet. But then I posted it on Facebook, and then a woman from Brazil wrote me and said, well, you are an artist, and when you are an artist, it's hard to suppress the urge to create something beautiful every time. So I will take that as a huge compliment and think that coloring ugly is just not me. I really want it to look good every time, no matter what colors I use and how many I use. So that was it from Small Victories. Then I had a body color in Magical Jungle. And it was this page. And well, I just call it Elephant in a Bottle because it's an elephant in a bottle or flask or whatever you call it. And I did this as a body color with Color and the City from Instagram. And I really like this one. So I will show you this first and then I will show you hers. I like the way I did the background here because I used, again, my Faber-Castell pastel chalks. And I used a lot of them to not have such, areas of white, but to really make it green and different greens mixed to make it like a jungle background or greenish background at least. And I used my Prismacolors for this one, and I decided that I wanted it to be a bright jungle, not a dull, boring jungle, but a bright jungle filled with bright colors. And you can see it here in the leaves that I have made, that I have used a lot of different colors and not just green colors, but actually a lot of lilac and purples, some blue colors, and yellow and orange colors also. I really like how this one turned out. And I also did a lot of work in making, the background, because the elephant is just there. So I've made the background and also here where it stands with the shadows and with the grass, and also here in the background. So I really like it. And then I used the white Posca here in the bottle here to make reflections so that you can see it really is a bottle. And now for Color and the City's Elephant in a Bottle. Here on Color and the City's version of this elephant in a bottle, we can see that she has chosen to use a lot of different green colors to make a vibrant jungle here with the leaves. And then she has chosen a blue background to make it look like, well, the elephant is in the jungle, but we also have some sky around it. And then she has used a little white gel pen to make some small marks here in the bottle for to show that there are some reflections here in the grass. So again, a beautiful example actually of how the different colors gives so many different versions of one drawing here. If you go to Pinterest and you search for Johanna Basford Magical Jungle, you can find all sorts of different versions of this drawing here. But this was Color and the City's drawing. Beautiful. And thank you so much, Color and the City, for this body color in Magical Jungle. And that was my June body color with Color and the City. And the last here from Johanna Basford is from August. In August I had a Aqua Adventure August 2024 coloring challenge, which meant that in August I only colored, underwater scenes. And Lost Ocean by Johanna Basford is a great book to do this. So I had planned, as you can see, several pages, but I actually only had time to do one. And it was, of course, one of my favorite pages from Lost Ocean. I went to the Great Aquarium in Copenhagen when I was a child during my summer holidays with my father and my brother. And they had, I can't remember, I don't think they have still, but back then they had this huge octopus, and it was red, dark red. So I have always, thought of octopuses as big and red. So every time I see an octopus, I have to color it red. It simply must be red. And this rubber octopus, or whatever it is, really is red. So this is actually up on my channel as a beginner tutorial where I, detail show you how to do the background and all of these jewels, gems, coins, the octopus, and so on. But the background is with my soft pastels, Munguyu, both the sand here and the water. And then I use my polychromos pencils, and I use them also to make some, darker shadows down here. I especially like the way that I have worked with shadows in this drawing here, because you can see there are actually a lot of shadows, both here on the ground, but also here with the octopus, because a lot of it, or some parts of it at least, lies in the shadow. So I really like how this has worked, and I am also quite pleased with my highlights here in the crowns and cups and coins and so on. So I really like this page, but I also think it's a great page for underwater coloring and underwater adventure at least. So that was my Johanna Basford coloring for the summer. So this one, Christine Karen's Mermaids coloring book. I did do some things. I actually meant to color this one, but I didn't have time. But I managed to color this humpback whale, and this is up on my channel as a color along. And this was colored with my Prismacolors. And it was a really fun page to work with. I used some photos as reference for the coral reef here. And as I said, you could always color coral reefs in a lot of different colors or just the same color. But I wanted different colors to show this, variety of colors that you find in a coral reef. We also have the mermaids, but as you can see, they sort of just blend a little bit more into the coral reef because they are not the main characters in this drawing. The humpback whale up here is. And I really think that I managed to really get the colors right. I look at some underwater photos taken of humpback whales, and it turns out that there are a lot of colors, and they are not just gray or gray and white, that they also have some sort of bluish greenish tones from the water. And when the sunlight, when they are just below the surface and the sunlight hits the surface and moves down into the water, it reflects in the skin here. So it was a really good challenge for me to do this page, especially here with the light and the sun rays here coming down towards the bottom. And then I did this one. This one I just colored and posted on my Facebook and my Instagram. And this one is with a mermaid swimming with a sea turtle. And the main character here is not the mermaid either. It is, of course, the sea turtle. And I will just bring it up a bit closer to the camera and you can see it. And I really enjoyed coloring this sea turtle. I really like the details that I managed to get into the turtle. And also, sea turtles are my youngest daughter's favorite animal, so it's always fun to color sea turtles here. So I don't know if this was supposed to be corals or seaweed, but I thought that it would look nice with some greenish color tones here and pretend that it's sort of seaweed here. And then I used the glitter gel pen for the frame here. Hope you can see it. And that was it, but this was also colored as part of my Aqua Adventure August here. And now for Well, something that I know a lot of you have been waiting for, my Hannah Carlson coloring books. But before we begin with Hannah Carlson, take just a little moment, get yourself a nice cup of coffee or a nice cup of tea or a glass of water, and like this video before you watch the next part with Hannah Carlson coloring books. So my Hannah Carlson books, and I will begin with Seasons. And if you remember from my last completed pages video, I said that I actually wanted to color quite a bit here in Seasons. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because I got COVID during the summer. My husband and my children had been to London and in, a big city holiday, and I really don't like big cities, so I stayed at home walking the dog and coloring, and then they got COVID while they were in London. And 2 days after they were home, I got it. So we have all had COVID, and I had a slight fever. It wasn't really high, but I had it for about perhaps a little more than 24 hours, perhaps 36 hours, and then it was gone. But then I had a cold, like, if you had a cold during the winter where it's really, really nasty, and then times it 100, that's the cold I had. And after a week, it was actually gone, but I lost my taste. I couldn't taste anything. I lost my sense of smell, and that was gone for, I think, almost a week before I began coming back. And then I coughed and I coughed and I coughed. And those videos I made during July, the later part of July, they have a lot of clips in it because I had to stop and cough all the time. It was really annoying. And then after, I think it was about 3 weeks after I got it, I was, being myself again. And I was also tired all the time. So I didn't get a lot of coloring in July, in the later part of July, actually. But I did manage to color this one in Seasons, and I am quite pleased with this one. It is the Blueberry Lady, or so I call her, because I think they look like blueberries, these berries. So this is actually available as a color along up on my channel. And the background is done with Derwent Inktense. They are very good at making background, and it's some sort of galaxy background with stars. And then we have the Blueberry Lady here, and you can see that the colors I chose up here with both the eggs here and the gems and the flowers, they are the same down here with her clothes. So I really like how this one turned out, and this was a really pleasant surprise because I used my Black Widow pencils for this, and the Black Widows work really, really well on the paper in Hannah Carlson books. I have actually not tried them out before, not on a whole drawing. So I just have to say that they work really, really well. And perhaps also a little bit better than some of the other pencils I've used here on this paper. I used polychromos for this page, but I have to say I think that the Black Widows actually work better than the polychromos for this page. And I also, if you can see here, I use some glitter gel pen here with the bird and its feathers here. But I really, really like how this one turned out. And I did this in June, and then it was my goal to color this one, Strawberry Lady, as I had already said, but I didn't have time, and now it's actually autumn. So I will have to color some of the autumn pages instead in this one. But that was one from Seasons. Then I have Magical Dawn, and this is my Instagram book, and this is the book I use on Instagram, and I color with a lot of other colorists in Colorion's Ensemble Magical Dawn, excuse my French. So this was a page I did in July. This is one of the pages that has been done earlier before I got my book and began joining this color along here. But this is a name page page. Oh, that sounded weird, but you know what I mean. So I actually hardly ever color these pages until the last, when I have colored all of the other pages. But this one I was inspired by after I had colored one of the other pages here. It's filled with stardust and gems and rainbow light. So I thought that this would be a great way to practice some of this. And I used my polychromas for this page, but I used a Pit Artist brush for the background. And then I used a lot of different glitter gel pens and gel pens for all of these stars here in the background. And of course some white gel pen here with the glass here. So this page was the June page. And this was colored with my Prismacolors. And this was a page where I thought, well, there are so many flowers, how to color it. I know that a lot of people prefer to have a black background and then they use gold or purple colors for the rest in Hannah Carlson books. But, well, I like to use all my colors, and I also like green backgrounds. So this was colored with a green background with the pencils and some purple butterflies and more lilac colors here, violet colors also with the flowers, and some violet blue here with the smaller flowers and some glitter gel pens. And that was not the page. This was the July page with the rainbow dust in a bottle. Again, a Pit Artist brush for the background. Lots of different glitter gel pens for the stars and dots, and then my polychromas to color the rainbow dust in here. And then I actually also use some glitter gel pen here with these small details in the rainbow dust here. So that was a fun little page to do. But the page that I will have to show you this one. This was a page that went terribly wrong. Really, really wrong. This was also one of the pages that I thought that I would just color because it has been colored before. If I show you the back of the page, you can see I really, really mean it when I say it went completely wrong. I used a marker I had just bought and it bled through. I've never experienced this on in one of Hannah Carlson books. You can see it's also quite stiff. It was completely ruined. And I don't know how to save this page, I have to say. I will have to color the background completely dark. And then I will have to do something with this apple bite here, because you can clearly see the blue color I tried to use, and the purple one also. I simply don't know how to salvage this page, so I haven't colored it, and I don't know if I will ever color it. But back to this one. So I tried many different things, and in the end I actually settled for I think I used a black, well, I did use a black. I think it was a... not a black Posca, I think it was an acrylic marker, not Pit Artist brush. That was simply not enough. An black acrylic marker here to color it all black. And then the moon, I colored it in different grays. That wasn't enough, so I used the white Posca to cover it all, because the moon also went wrong. And then I tried to salvage what I could and colored the hands, the arms here with this big red flower and the gems. I actually think I went a little overboard with the white Posca, but I was quite desperate at that point because it was so messed up, this page. So I think I managed to salvage some of the page, but well, I will never ever ever use a marker or any other medium unless I have tried it on a, I don't know, a page in the back or something. I really wish that Hannah Carlson books had these test pages that we find in the Johanna Basford books. I really could use one of those. Well, moving on, the last of the Colorions Ensemble pages, the August page. And this I am particularly proud of. I know that Hannah Carlson also likes it because she has liked it on Instagram. So this is one of my absolute favorite pages. I use my Prismacolors for this one. I decided that this was not a mermaid because she is wearing clothes. This was a water nymph. And you can see here she is in some sort of a lake or a river. Actually, water nymphs are called naiads from ancient Greek mythology. And I thought that, well, since this isn't the ocean, well, this is a lake. There are usually a lot of plants in a lake and the water is more greenish and not as much blue. So I used I think it was my muted turquoise and jade green, actually, to make some of the water here. And then I used a Pit Artist brush for the sky. I used actually a lot of glitter up here with the stars and the water splashes here and in her jewelry. And then I used the neon pink and some of the purple colors to make the fish stand out, and also these, I think it's sea anemones down here. And then these urchins were colored lilac, just as her outfit here. And the colors from the bottom, you can see it again here in the sort of crown she's wearing. I colored her skin green. And I really like the way her skin sort of reflects that she is this water creature coming up from the lake and trying to meet us. So this page next to it is the September page. And you will see this colored in the next completed pages video. Well, that was my Magical Dawn. And then Berettelser from Atlantis, the Tales from Atlantis. And of course, this book was the book I primarily used during August in my Aqua Adventure August challenge. So I have colored quite a bit here. This one I colored in July, these blue water lilies, and this was actually a sort of practice page. I used my polychromas, and well, they also work so lovely in this book. And then here with the shell, I hope you can see it, I used my acrylic ink for the first time, my pearl green acrylic ink. And this was the moment where I found out that if you want to cover the black line, you have to use a Posca pen to cover them before you use the pearl acrylic ink, because the pearl acrylic ink is actually see-through. It just adds this mother of pearl shine to the page, so it doesn't cover the black lines as if you use, you know, a metallic color, for example, or a normal acrylic ink color. So, but I really like this page. I like the way I did the water. I like the colors I chose for this, with the green, more bright green fishes here, and the darker green leaves here from the water lilies, and the really dark blue water lilies. This was actually inspired by a photo I found while I was researching colors for water lilies. And I found this huge blue water lily with some yellow here inside of it. And it was so beautiful. I thought that, well, I want to color it just like that. So this was a real joy to color. And this one, you may have seen, this was colored with my Prismacolors. And this is a color along up on my channel. And as I said, I used Prismacolors, but I also used a Sakura Jelly Roll Moonlight, a neon yellow for the sea anemones here. I used acrylic ink for the shells. And I used silver glitter gel pen here for some of the jewelry, and a white Posca also. I really like this page because I like these underwater, down at the bottom scenes where you have this treasure and, you know, remains of human existence here with the vase here. So this page, these pages also colored. These were a part of my how to color with acrylic ink tutorial I made in July. This page was colored with polychromas, and this one with Prismacolors, and then I used the acrylic ink to color the pearls, the pearl violet to color the pearls here. Hope you can see it shine. And then I used the pearl green here with this shell and the pearl blue here. I have to say that of all of the colors, the pearl blue is the one that, well, it doesn't work as good as the pearl green and pearl white and pearl violet. I don't know what's wrong with the blue one, but it's really just not enough. I also here used a purple glitter Posca to cover the black lines here with the seahorses here. And I used the same bright colors from the other drawing here to the fishes here. And then I decided to alternate between two different kinds of, well, corals or seaweed or whatever it is. No, I really like these two pages here. And then this one was just a really fun one to make. I used my Prismacolors and then I used the white acrylic ink to cover the dress of this lady. Amphitrite, I think it's called. She was the wife of Poseidon. And I thought that it was special to make this one. I actually colored it all with the white Prisma color before to add some white color. Then I tried to cover the lines as much as I could, and then I gave it 3 layers of the pearl white to get this effect on the dress. And of course I used a gold glitter gel pen for her belt. But otherwise, Prismacolor all around, and this was just, you know, a background where you color different sorts of corals here, and then she's just framed in here. And the last one here. Here I used different mediums. I used my Artex pencils. I used some acrylic ink for the stars and the moon, and also in these columns here. And I used my Sakura metallic pens and jelly moon rolls here also. I actually used the metallic pens to make it bronze here, and then the jelly roll neon pink here up here. I also used some of the acrylic ink to make dots here amongst the fishes. Hope you can see it. So those were the colorings from Hanna Karlzon books. So last but certainly not least, Klara Markova's Fairy Celebrations. So I have been wanting to color more in my Klara Markova books. I have all of them except the first 2, which are sold out. So I decided that during my Aqua Adventure August, I would color one drawing here in one of her books, and I chose this page. This page is so beautiful. I love it, and it's actually more easy, I think, to go to than some of her other very detailed pages. So this wasn't frightening to begin. So this is actually available as a color along in 2 parts on my channel. So I have only ever colored a couple of times in a Klara Markova book before, and I have used polychromos and Prismacolors. And both of these brands work very well on these pages. So, well, I didn't have time or the need to experiment with another coloring pencil brand, so I just chose my Prismacolors. I have chosen this as a night scene, not only because of the lamp here, because we are down here at the bottom of the ocean, and I usually color a lot more light, you know, to give room for all of these details, as you can see from my colorings in Berättelser från Atlantis by Hanna Karlzon. But this one I wanted to use a darker color scheme, also perhaps to bring me out of my own comfort zone. And I think I actually succeeded. You can see the water here is really, really dark. And you can also see that I actually used a pencil to outline where the light would shine. And then I have used lighter colors in these areas to really enhance the impression of light coming down from this little lamp, and then darker colors around it. And you can also see it here with this, I don't know what these are, urchins or whatever. You can see here I have colored a little bit of yellow here, and then a lighter blue color, and all of these were colored blue, and then I colored gray to make it look like they are more in the shadow. But these two are in the light zone here. And you can also see that this one over here, you can hardly see it because it's really dark. It's in the shadow, not only away from the light, but also behind these, the seaweed and this coral and the key. So that's completely dark here. I also like the way that I made these. It's sort of a 3D impression here, that you can go down these tubes or corals or whatever they are. And then I like the way that I did the houses very cozy by this warm light coming out from them. And this shell roof here, you can see it up close. I really like how I made it look like a real shell here. And of course, well, the seahorse is just so cute. So what's not to like about this page? So that was my final drawing in August, and my final drawing in this year's Aqua Adventure August Challenge. So I actually think that I will do it again next year, and you are more than welcome to join me and tag me in your colorings. So that was my completed pages for the summer months, June, July, and August, and also my body colors during this summer season. I hope that you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you also was perhaps a bit inspired in your own coloring journey while you were watching what I have done and the choices I have made. So I hope that you will like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So I will be making a new completed pages video when autumn is finished, because I simply don't have the time to make a video each month, so I will do it per season. So every 3 months I will make a completed pages video. I will also not be making a coloring plans video each month, but I can tell you this much, that during the coming season here, autumn season, autumn in Denmark in September is, well, it's actually more like a continuation of summer. So I will actually in September be coloring, well, almost as if it was summer, flowers and other stuff like that. And then in the end of September, beginning of October, I will begin more autumn inspired pages and Halloween pages, of course. Which books will I be coloring in? Well, the same books that I have used here, or at least from the same illustrators, some Johanna Basford books. I probably will concentrate on Enchanted Forest. There are some very nice autumn-like pages in that book, perhaps also Secret Garden. Clara Markova, it could be any of her books, because she also has autumn-like pages in all of her books. Hannah Carlson, of course, Seasons, because we have some autumn-like pages there, but also and certainly The Witch's Cottage and Forest Kingdom. There are a lot of autumn-like pages in those books, so I will be coloring in them. Erie has some very nice Halloween pages in her books, and Maria Trolle probably also has some pages that I could color with autumn colors. So that was just an idea of what I want to do, but I cannot sit here and point and say I want to color this exact page, because the pages I choose is well, it's chosen at the moment what I want. So it's actually, I can't weeks ahead just say I want to color this and that page and this and that book. I simply cannot. My inspiration won't allow me to do that. But I do hope that you will continue following me here in my coloring journey. I have now more than 800 subscribers, and when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I will have a giveaway on my channel. So spread the words with every people you know that also likes to watch coloring videos. Remember that you can also become a channel member and get access to more perks if you choose to support me in my coloring journey. If you choose early access, you will have access to all of my videos 3 days before everyone else. And the income from this will be going to be buying new coloring supplies and coloring books. And I have a new art haul video coming up here during the autumn. If it's September or October, I can't say for sure, but end of September, beginning of October, I will have a new really exciting art haul supply video up on my channel with some really nice goodies, I can tell you that. But you can learn a lot more about my memberships if you watch the video that I have made and which is up on my channel. And as a bonus, if you watch that video, you can actually see what I look like, because I have filmed myself in that video with camera and not off camera. Well, that was it for now. Have a lovely day. Take care of yourself until I see you in the next video. Happy coloring. Bye.